Welcome to Website Success. I'm Chrissy, and today we are going to talk about local SEO. If you have a local business, which means you serve people in person, either in a physical location or within a relatively limited service area, then you need to know about local SEO. And in fact, for a lot of local businesses, local SEO may be even more important than regular SEO. If you're trying to reach a local audience, you absolutely need to know about local SEO. If you're not sure what local SEO is, let me paint a picture for you. If you've ever gone on Google or Bing or whatever search engine you like to use, and you've searched for something like coffee shop near me or plumber in Annapolis, then you've used local SEO. And you may have noticed that when you do that, the search engine results page usually looks a little bit different. So, for example, if you again type in coffee shop near me, then you're going to see something called the local pack at the top of the search results. And that local pack is going to have usually three businesses in it. And Bing also has something like a local pack. I don't know if they call it something else, but it's going to be the top 3 to 5 businesses that are local to you if you do that. Now, I learned a lot about local SEO when I started a STEM education center in my hometown. I knew that I wanted local parents and other adults who were looking for STEM classes for their kids to be able to find my center when I did that. And the center did have a physical location in my hometown. And so I read every resource that I could find about local SEO. I watched tons of videos about it and I got to work. And after a few months, I did manage to get my center to show up in the local pack whenever parents searched for coding classes near me or robotics classes near me or other things like that. Those search results turned into phone calls to my center, and they also turned into people walking into the center to find out more about us. And all of those turned into lots of sales. A lot of times, if we could get somebody on the phone or walking in the front door of the center, they would send their kids to at least a trial class. And in a lot of cases, those trial classes turned into kids signing up for our memberships or individual classes or camps or whatever it was we were offering at the time. If my center hadn't shown up in that local pack, then there's a really good chance that those families wouldn't have known about the business and I wouldn't have made those sales. If my own experience doesn't convince you, let me give you some real statistics to think about when it comes to whether or not you need to have local SEO for your local business. So the first one is 46% of all Google searches have what's called local intent. That means they probably want to find something nearby. So either they're adding that near me, or if you just search for coffee shop, then Google and some of the other search engines are going to assume that you're looking for something local. And that means almost half of all of Google searches are from users that are looking for local businesses. So if you have a local business, you want to be on that search engine results page. Now, another stat, 76% of people who do a local search on their phone visit a business that they find within 24 hours, and 28% of those visits do result in a purchase. So again, you want to show up in that local pack because 78% of the time, whoever is searching for that and coming up with that local pack, or they may be looking at the map a little bit more in depth, but 78% of those people are actually looking to visit or somehow interact with that business. Another statistic to consider is that businesses appearing in that local pack, which again is the top 3 local results on Google, they receive 93% more actions. And actions are going to be things like phone calls, website clicks, and driving directions. And so those top 3 are going to get 93% more actions than businesses that are ranked in numbers 4 through 10 in the search results. Now, you may be wondering, isn't local SEO just SEO? And in some ways it is, but in a lot of ways it's not. So let me break down some of the key differences. First, the most obvious is going to be that there is a geographic focus. With regular SEO, you're focusing on ranking for keywords nationally or maybe even globally, depending on your business. Local SEO is going to help you rank in a specific geographic area where your customers are. So this is really important for businesses that have a brick and mortar location or if they serve a specific service area. Another difference is the ranking factors. Regular SEO is going to look at your website content, backlinks, and things like that. So it's really all about your website and who's linking to it. And those are still important for local SEO, but things like your Google business profile, reviews that you get online, and other location specific factors are going to be way more important. That's how you show up in that local pack. The third difference is the search results are going to look a lot different. With regular SEO, you're trying to get the traditional organic results. So you're just trying to show up on the search engine results page in the organic set of results. With local SEO, you're trying to show up in the local pack, which I've mentioned several times already, but you're trying to show up as one of the top 3 businesses in that local pack. And as I've already mentioned with the statistics, that can be a huge driver of traffic, not just for your website, but also for phone calls and even people just showing up at your front door of your business if you've got a brick and mortar location. Why is local SEO so important for local businesses? I've already told you it's going to give you extra traffic, it's going to give you extra actions, people calling you, people showing up at your business. But really, the biggest thing is that it attracts local customers. And it is also the only way for your business to appear in Google Maps and other map apps like Apple Maps and Bing Maps and things like that. So that's how you show up in those maps is through local SEO. Another big thing is that local SEO can help level the playing field, allowing small businesses to compete with larger businesses for visibility in local search results. A really good example of this, I'm in Crofton, Maryland, and if I search for coffee near me or a coffee shop near me, the local pack is going to give me 3 local independently owned businesses. I'm not going to get Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. They don't even show up in the top 5 when I search for it. So even though I have like 3 of each in the area, they don't even show up in the top 5. So those local businesses that do show up in the top 3 are able to compete with those national or global businesses a little bit more evenly. There is a lot that goes into local SEO, and I'm not going to cover it all in this episode because, like I said, there's a lot. And I would like to be able to cover some of the aspects in more detail in future episodes. But the most important thing I want you to focus on when you're getting started with local SEO is your Google business profile. You need to make sure it's complete, accurate, and as optimized as possible. And you also want to make sure that your business is getting citations, which are mentions of your business name, address, and phone number, which are the NAP or NAP. And you want to make sure that those are showing up on other websites like Yelp, Nextdoor, Patch, the Yellow Pages, and things like that. Reviews are also a factor when it comes to local SEO. So make sure that you're keeping on top of that, you're getting those reviews, and you are responding to any reviews that you get. You also do still need to do keyword research and make sure that your website and your content are optimized for search engines because you don't just want to show up in that local pack. You also want your website to show up in the local search results. Before we wrap up, I do have one quick action that I want you to take today. If you have a local business or if you know somebody with a local business, I want you to do a local search for it. So go to Google and search for your business. Don't just use the name of your business. That's easy. I want you to search for one of your products or your services. So, for example, if you are an interior designer, I want you to search for interior designer near me or interior designer in your area. Or if you sell acai bowls, I want you to search for acai bowls in Pasadena or acai bowls Annapolis. And I want you to look, does your business show up in the local pack? If it does already, great. You want to make sure it stays there. But if you don't, you have some work that you need to do. Local SEO is not just another marketing buzzword. It's a really important tool for connecting with customers who are actively looking for businesses like yours in your area. If you're ready to learn more about local SEO, check out my SEO Success Club. I just added a replay of my recent local SEO lab, which I am planning to do again. And that replay is jam-packed with tips that you can use to start doing local SEO right away. You'll be able to find a link for it in the show notes. I really hope this episode helped you understand a little bit more about why local SEO is important. Make sure you come back for the next episode to learn more about it. I'm going to do a whole series on local SEO, so make sure you're coming back and learning more in the upcoming episodes. And don't forget to leave a review and subscribe because you want to keep coming back and be notified when the next episode comes out. So again, make sure you leave a review, subscribe to the podcast, and come back for more tips on making your website and your Google business profile work harder for your business. Thanks for listening.